So, do you guys know anything about this Pokemon, how do you, I don't even know how to pronounce this thing.
Excuse me. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. It's Pokemon Go.
Actually, Cody, it's actually Oya. All the consonants are silent.
Wait, what? All right, we've got to talk about this.
I guess we do.
All right, as you could probably tell, we don't know anything, and this week we don't know anything about Pokemon Go, the latest rage taking over the country's cell phones, at least, and melting your children's minds. I am Jamie, broadcasting from Gainesville, Florida, and joining us from St. Pete.
It's Brandon Blake, the resident attorney who... What's that? What?
we don't know anything about protecting identities, so Brandon went with the last name.
Dropping the last name. What?
You know, I hide in plain sight. You know, it's kind of
like most lawyers do.
Look, you know, it's only a matter of time before I put my card out and start soliciting business. That may or may not be against Florida bar rules, so I'm going to have to back up from that. But I love me, so there's that.
You may differentiate yourself by saying you're from St. Pete, but you would have thought you'd pick up more about witness protection living that close to Tampa. And also joining us. Also joining us from Orange County in sunny Southern California.
That would be Cody. And hello.
That was not awkward at all.
All right, so Pokemon Go. Let's talk about this. Okay, show of hands. Who had the original Pokemon games when we were younger on our Nintendo Game Boys?
I am doing a verbal hand raise right now.
Yeah, right here. Doesn't work as well on podcasts, I guess.
I'm not. So here's the thing. I didn't have a Nintendo system with which to play the Pokemons.
You didn't have a Game Boy?
No, I didn't have Game Boy. So I was the friend that would accidentally save over his other friends' saves on their Game Boys when he would play.
Oh.
Yeah, that was me. The guy that didn't know anything about it. It was like, oh, save, okay. And then, that nice Charizard you'd finally gotten or whatever, like, gone. Just goodbye.
It wasn't so much the Charizard, it was the fact that, like, I spent 20 hours as a middle school kid, which, was like 2 days, but still, trying to get this thing. And then all of a sudden, CD47 decides to save over my save. So.
Yeah, there goes Zapdos. There goes whatever else.
You keep saying these things, and I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to throw in random Pokemon names or other things, and you won't know.
I mean, these could be medical conditions for all I know. So it's like,
he's got medical conditions.
He's got a bad case of the Zapdos this week.
See, Brandon actually caught these. He just didn't get the time to familiarize with them because they were gone after Cody handed the Game Boy.
Well, yeah, I'm just wondering if these are communicable diseases that he's talking about. So, it's like, oh man, how's your brother doing? Oh man, he's got a horrible case of the Mewtwo's. It's like, man, that guy can't walk. Is there something on his foot, dude? He's got a total Bulbasaur on his foot.
It's just like a ranking of like the worst Pokemon names for like diseases. Like if you had this as a disease, if this Pokemon was a disease, like how bad would it be?
You don't want to get me started on Charizard.
Squirtle. Yeah, that's awkward. Whatever that is, it's awkward, but like it can't be all that horrible. But then, like, yeah, Zapdos or something along those lines. Mewtwo, yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Mewtwo was always the awkward one, too, because you thought that people said U2, and you thought that they were talking about the band. They were like, oh, man, I caught U2. I was like,
great album, right?
Yeah. They're pretty good in concert, But does some of just their new stuff, or do they get back to some of the old stuff,
Then you got a nerd looking at you like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm talking about Mewtwo. I'm talking about Pokemon. You wouldn't understand.
Cool stuff.
Cool things.
Not old guys.
So, did y'all have the Pokemon or Pokemon or Pokemon or however you pronounce it card game?
Yeah, that's what I had. I had some of those.
Yeah, guilty as well.
No shame in admitting that I was a nerd. Riffing off of the collectible card game for Pokemon, I may or may not have played in a tournament for a Star Wars collectible card game.
Oh, I had some of those. I never played.
Oh no, I played and got my mom to drive me to a tournament up in Jacksonville.
How far? So this was like a 2-hour drive to go play in a tournament?
Round trip, yeah.
Did you win?
No, I won one game. I won one and lost two, so I didn't get to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you split.
I wasn't good. I just did it.
Well, you know, my roommate, Jordan, he, for those of you who don't know, also nerd like us, will probably end up being on one of these shows at some point, he tells stories about how he and a friend of his used to go to like Toys R Us and do the Pokemon battles or whatever with the cards, and would just like literally just take cards from kids because they would just beat these little kids that they were so much better than, and would like make them cry. And it's like, that sounds like everything wrong with the game. It's like, yeah, dude, well, they kind of assumed the risk of like playing against us, and I didn't feel bad. I was like,
So
you're a monster.
Bringing out the best in our youth from the very beginning, Pokemon was.
Yeah. So from my understanding of Pokemon, basically, Jordan is Team Rocket. But good at his job.
I'm coming to take your stuff.
Okay, now Team Rocket, they're the bad guys, right?
That's what I remember. I also remember them being completely inept.
Okay, are they in the new game?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody's friends in this one.
Yeah, so okay, having established our collective background with Pokemon from childhood, where we've evolved to now that we are.
Ooh, I see what you did there, because like Pokemon evolve.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't even my final form. Sorry.
I also like how often we preface things with, I was kind of a nerd, but I think all three of us have said that, so we should just kind of use that as ground rules of this entire podcast, and we can all just, it's a safe space, I understand you, and we can just relate.
Yeah, I don't know Dragon Ball Z reference.
Like, I feel like I need to emphasize the fact that, like,
right.
No, I was a nerd, dude.
I don't know if you understand.
Like, I think it's similar to like the Mitch Hedberg joke, rest in peace. Like, I used to do drugs. I mean, I still do drugs, but I used to too. Like, I used to be a nerd. Like, I'm still a nerd, but I used to be a nerd too. Like, that's
yeah.
I actually told that Mitch Hedberg joke today. True story.
Yeah, we're a bunch of weirdos.
Yep. But so today, in the digital age that we're in, which I have to say it actually was kind of a compelling idea, they've taken the real world outside of me and this headset and podcasting, and it's basically full of Pokemon, and you go through it like augmented reality, I guess. You aim your phone.
Hold on. A wild Zubat appeared. Oh yeah, I got him.
See, Cody outed himself because we only made it through a little over one episode before we talk about something that one of us actually knows about, which is that Cody does know about Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I know about it.
Well,
I know about that.
We need to have like a little bit of knowledge, because I mean last week we talked about podcasts, so like we kind of knew, but
we knew something because we figured out how to do a really terrible podcast.
Hey, we don't know anything about good podcasting now.
Look, this is kind of one of those things that's like, you know, this could be the best podcast ever made by man, and we wouldn't know. So, like, because we don't know what a good podcast is. So this may be gold.
No, I don't know. I feel like we know enough about other podcasts that we listen to that we are aware this is not the greatest ever.
Yeah, I'd have to tend to agree.
Look,
So
I believe in us.
So, personally, I have to say, my own lack of knowledge about Pokemon Go, ironically, is not for lack of trying.
Wait, you're going to have to explain that.
When I heard about it, see what happened was, when I heard about it, like, a day or two after it had been released, and everybody's posting about, oh, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go. I was like, all right, I'll give this a try. So I go and download the app, and I open it. It asks me for my birth date. I put in my birth date. I say submit. It says log in with Google. I hit Google, choose my account, hit go, and I'm like, I'm so ready to revel in like 10-year-old fantasy land, and the app crashes. Like I don't even get through registration, and it says, unfortunately, Pokemon Go has stopped. And that has been my experience of Pokemon Go. Is somehow an apparent complete lack of compatibility is the word I'm looking for, with a Samsung Galaxy Note Edge, which is a common enough phone that I don't feel like this should happen. There was one time after the game. Yeah, right.
It's not an iPhone, so right. I mean, ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. Does that not work on every single version of your phone?
I have no idea. All I know is there was one app update that they released, and I thought, oh sweet, maybe they'll have some bug fixes. And sure enough, it updated the app. I opened it up. I did the whole registration step. I hit go, and it worked. And it was like, oh yes, it's go time. So I got into like the character customization. I got into the little cheesy like cartoon, like I'm Professor whatever his face is, and I need you to help me, and created my character.
Some sort of tree.
Yeah, I think it was Willow, maybe. I don't know. But
no, that's Val Kilmer. That's Willow.
Didn't get that reference, whatever that was, too.
Wait, no. There is a movie called Willow that stars, I believe it's Val Kilmer, and Warwick Davis is in it. It's kind of weird. It's an 80. Never mind.
I don't know anything about that, so we're gonna stick to.
Stick to something else we don't know about.
Look, this is one of my Van Gogh moments. I'm not appreciated for my references. Maybe later.
Brandon's never been appreciated for his references.
Yeah.
I feel like we established that last week on the podcast.
This is the next in a long line of my Van Gogh moments. So this one time after the app updated, I got to create my character. I did all the customization and hit go, and nothing happened. And he just sat there on the screen like it showed my completed character, but there were no buttons to go anywhere else. And so I exited the app, and now it's back to crashing every time. So I basically just take it as a divine guidance that I have an addictive personality and no lifestyle to be able to actually enjoy this game. I'm not mobile enough for it, basically.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, Willow. My wife was just talking about this movie.
Ah.
Because we watched behind... Okay, this is a weird tangent. My wife and I watched the San Diego Comic-Con featurette on Rogue One, the new Star Wars movie coming out.
Oh, so good.
Right.
And I think the guy that plays the dwarf in Willow is in Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah, no, Warwick Davis has been, like, he was the Ewok in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but I think it looks like he's playing an actual character in this one. Or something.
Well, he's you can see him in the Force Awakens. He is in the cantina scene.
Okay, yeah, I see that. He's listed as Fiston in Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
He's also in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
I haven't seen Harry Potter. He played Marvin in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a fantastic book, and I don't know if I've seen the movie, but the book is hilarious and had me laughing out loud multiple times.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, complete and utter tangent. But, Warwick Davis, if they did a live-action version of Pokemon Go, would probably be, like, my 1 or 2 as far as, like, playing Pikachu.
Fair enough.
All right. Okay.
He's got the smile. I mean, he played Wicket, and he was great and lovable. and now he just would need to play Pikachu.
Okay. Nope, not gonna start that tangent. Never mind. Moving on.
Wait, who would we cast in a Pokemon movie?
I was just saying Peter Dinklage, and I didn't know who he would play.
Just because I want to cast Peter Dinklage.
Well, any excuse to cast Peter Dinklage, I think, is a good one.
I mean, he's probably Blastoise. Let's be clear.
He's just all the final forms of the Pokemon. Just anything epic.
I mean, yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
So who would we cast as Ash? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
So every time he caught a Pokemon, it would just like fast zoom on his face, and he'd go, "Whoa!"
No.
Yeah.
Did you guys see John Wick? Please tell me you saw John Wick.
No, I want to, but I have not.
Okay.
Sorry, Brandon.
There's, well.
That's the one where he goes on a killing rampage because they killed his dog, right?
That's exactly all I need you to know for this joke. But it's like
so we're on the level.
Yeah. Now our audience knows enough to get the joke.
It's like you stole my Pokemon. I guess I'm back. And just like goes on a rampage. That would be the really dark Pokemon, you know, where it's just, you know, kids from Team Rocket are getting strung up in the streets. Like it's a little bit adult themed.
So basically, Joaquin Phoenix and Helena Bonham Carter are Team Rocket, and they kidnap Warwick Davis, who's Pikachu, and Keanu Reeves goes on a gotta catch 'em all rampage so that he can take down Joaquin Phoenix and Helena Bonham Carter.
Right. I think Michael Caine has to be Professor Oak, though. Like, that's got to be a thing.
I'm all for Michael Caine in the movie. So.
This is your Pokédex. Not many people know that. Here you can see all the Pokemons that you're going to capture all over this place. So, that was a terrible accent, but whatever.
It was awful. It was not a good Michael Caine impression, but thank you.
You know he's got a Cockney accent. It's not many people know that.
And after listening to you, I still wouldn't.
Look, you miss all the shots you don't take. This includes humor. This is kind of my this is the way I do things. Anyway, okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Brandon. I yield the floor.
I was gonna say, so Cody, okay, so what do you do in Pokemon Go?
Well, here's the thing, and this is why I feel comfortable about talking about this as something that I don't really know about, because what you're supposed to do, I think, is actually go outside and walk around.
Judging by your whiteness, I see that does not happen.
Yeah, and you can tell you saw the girth around my waist that you would know for sure that I'm not about that kind of video game life. I mean, I'm all for it, like excuses to get nerds outside running around. I think it's ironic that the same people who are like, oh man, video games, they got everybody sitting inside and then just staring at the TV all day, are also like, oh man, Pokemon Go is so dumb, when it's doing the exact thing they wanted, is getting nerdy kids outside in the sun.
True.
Exercising.
No, I saw something recently where there was an article about it was like a guy who's like 28 or 29 years old who like caught all the Pokemon in Pokemon Go, and he's like, you know, just like some guy that has like an actual job, and it's showing like he's like walked like 10 miles or something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you have to go walk places. Like you have to, you know, it's like.
And to get a balance of them, you have to go pretty far because they're only in specific areas, right?
Yeah, I think some of them are like in the water. Like, oh look, this is a water Pokemon. Well, you have to find it in the water. Like, I don't think you have to swim. That would seem difficult. But you have to like take a walk along the beach or go find a river.
Find a lake or something.
Yeah.
So really, if you're opposed to walking and you have this game, you're more so just in it to like find out what Pokemon happen to be on your normal routes of travel.
It's not even that. It's just like I'm sitting on the toilet at home. Hey, is there any Pokemon in the house?
So that's why you're yelling Blastoise! It's like, oh, honey, how was your trip to the bathroom? Oh, man, it was total Charmander in there. Okay, I probably need a leash now.
The other thing that I find funny about like the being opposed to moving around thing is our IT manager at work. I don't think has the game, but he was talking about the fact that there are ways that you could like root the phone and mess with settings, and GPS location is one of the things that you can apparently mess with. So if you want to talk about the pinnacle of beating the purpose of this game, that would be sitting on your couch and telling your phone you're in different places around the country to go get the Pokemon.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Give that man a raise.
Or some other task to do to keep him occupied.
Exactly, yeah. He's obviously got way too much free bandwidth.
Yeah, you need to work on that, project manager.
Well, and here's the thing. I think it's kind of one of those things of, that guy's the kind of nerd that plays the game, because I always heard, and I find it completely accurate, that's like, I remember a joke that was somewhat insensitive, but I thought was accurate, was like, nerds didn't ever do a terrorist attack because they would have been bragging about it to their friends. So it's like, that guy's the kind of nerd because he's bragging about how the fact that he has hacked this game so that he doesn't have to move.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
He's found a way.
So I like earlier on when we were kind of going down the path of casting people in a Pokemon movie, going into this, partially just because all three of us are college football fans, and partially because we enjoy the work of those at SBNation and Every Day Should Be Saturday. I had the thought independently, like, oh, we should, think of like Pokemon representatives of college football teams, completely forgetting the fact that earlier this year, SBNation did that exact thing, and it was incredible.
We're not original at all. We don't know anything about being original.
No, and it just was funny to me how, like, for a while today when I was thinking about, like, oh, what could we do when we record this? I thought, oh, that'd be a really good idea. I need to tell the guys, forgetting that
someone did it much better than we ever could.
Yeah. Only like 5 months ago, but I looked it up because there were a couple. I mean, for all 129 college football programs, and so many of them were so good, I'd highly advise anyone who likes laughing to go look it up. But one of them for my partisanship, and one of them just out of sheer humor that were spot on, and I enjoyed a lot. First being Florida State, it says. Wheezing has solid stats, but is also known for producing an enormous amount of toxic gas, just like Florida State fans in comment sections.
Amen. I receive that truth.
And then the other one that has nothing to do with my preferences for college football teams is Kansas is Wario, because it's not a Pokemon, but it's really good at a completely different game.
Yep. Perfect. Yep.
So there are two really funny characterizations that are much better than anything we would have come up with. So I'll call it a wrap on the college football parallel idea.
Yeah.
True. That's good stuff.
The other thing I found when I went to go Google something about Pokemon Go in preparation for this was a story on The Verge that made me laugh a lot, which just kind of goes to show you just how, in my mind, again, we kind of detailed in the last episode, I'm not someone with a real strong economics mind. I just don't think that way. To the point that something as big and powerful as the stock market, to me, sometimes seems like voodoo, make-believe. And this headline kind of confirms it, because it says, Nintendo shares plummet after investors realize it doesn't actually make Pokemon Go.
I saw that. That was a great article.
That's really funny, because it's pretty clear. Like, I don't know, you open up the app. Here, let me close it down, and I'll just open it. because we may not know anything, but when it opens up and the front page says Niantic.
Yeah, it's not spelled the same as Nintendo.
No, it does start with the letter N, and then it has an I.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else is different from there on.
But mistakes could be made. It's clear.
Mistakes clearly were made. You just hope that it's not made by the people that are, I don't know, investing lots of money that would cause a company's price to like.
Look, here's the thing. Steve from Paducah made so much money on that last week.
That was the thing I was gonna say. Could you imagine like the shrewd fellow who like heard about the game being developed, bought Nintendo stock, maybe completely innocently, not realizing that it wasn't Nintendo developing it, but then like rode it to this peak and then sold it, and like he's the guy sharing a beer in a bar with somebody, and they're like, "How'd you make your millions?" He was like, "Because people thought Nintendo made Pokemon Go."
Yeah. No, I read that apparently Nintendo owns like 30% of like the Pokemon company or whatever, but its sales forecast that it had been giving its investors included a fairly accurate representation of what they thought Pokemon Go was going to generate in revenue for the company. So all these people thinking, you guys are going to make a ton of money, right? Nah, man, we already figured that in, man. Like we saw this coming, and well,
we knew it was crazy. But like we don't get any money. We don't get that much money from it. Like
yeah. But
and finally, one thing just to mention, it's a free app. But it's one of those things where you can like pay money if you want to.
Oh, it's freemium?
Yeah, it's free. It's sort of. I feel like freemium. When I think freemium, I'm like, it's free. But like, if you actually want to do stuff, you have to like pay money because like, what are you gonna do, noob? Like trying to just run around. It's like, oh yeah, cool. You can get like 2 things for free, and then like you have to actually pay money. Like this one, like, nah, it's all free. You just gotta walk places. So like,
but
you just gotta go and stuff.
My understanding though is that those that pay for the things in the game are at a significant advantage to those that don't. So unless you pay,
no, because like the things that you would get an advantage for, like if you bought it and you like, I don't know, put it down a lure, I could take advantage of it. I don't have to pay for it. I just watch you put one up and then be like, I'm stealing all your Pokemons.
Okay, that sounded really pedophilic real quick about you luring people and stealing their Pokemon.
I'm not luring them. They're luring them. I'm stealing the Pokemon. Don't worry about it.
You're going to have to explain some of that. I really don't know what's going on.
He's just opportunistic.
It is. It's like you put something down, a trap to get people to get Pokemons to a location, but like anybody can use it. It's open to the public. Like you had to pay real money for it.
So you pay for the lure, but it's an exercise in philanthropy. You're giving to the people.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so it's like a bird feeder.
Yeah, exactly. And it's gonna get some squirrels. So.
Wait, are there squirrels in the game?
No, but there's squirrels in your bird feeder.
Ah. So the squirrels are like other people?
Squirrels are mooches. True.
They're just rats with tails, man.
Cute, though.
Yes, because normal rats don't have tails.
Well, furry tails, whatever. Yeah. Shut up.
Which speaking of squirrels descending on Pokemon, which is close enough for me to segue into this. Have you guys heard of the stories of people just like straight out getting mugged at these like Pokestops or gyms or whatever they are?
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I was talking to my. I have a. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and admit this. We'll do this. I have a. I've been going to see a personal trainer just because I weigh entirely too much, and so we were talking about this, and we were saying about how like I was telling her about this podcast today, and we were talking about Pokemon or whatever, and this came up about like people were like setting lures and like knew where people were going for like Pokestops and stuff, and so apparently, from what I understand, you can see other players on your screen. So these people set like a lure or something like that and saw this player like at night going towards this place and like ambushed him at that site and like stole stuff from it.
Yeah, like I'd basically, not a specific story, but I've just heard sort of general anecdotes that, you know, just like anything with the internet and a web-based thing, they now have, you know, maps online that people can get on and see like where all the Pokestops or whatever are. And I mean, just something as simple as people know that you're going to be walking around staring at your phone, not paying attention to the world around you, and they're just mugging people and stealing their phones, which is just terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because like I saw a meme or something like that was like, you know, in 2006 we told, you know, the whole thing was don't talk to people online and don't get in strange people's cars. Whereas in 2016 it's now Uber is the exact opposite of that. Talk to someone online and get into a stranger's car.
Yeah, everything I was taught as a child, just completely out the window.
Yeah, it's the degradation of society.
Your Michael Caine's gone really off hill, man.
Look, that's more of my Pat Roberts and Michael Caine kind of thing. So, you know.
Oh man, what more is there that we could delve into Pokemon Go? I don't know. See, with podcasting, the last episode, I feel like I knew more about it at the end. I don't know if I know any more about it now.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So with Pokemon Go, is there like an end game? Do you like win something?
No, you just collect all the Pokemon. Like I think there's gyms that you can battle at, and then like be the king of a gym, and then like somebody can come around and be king of the hill at that gym instead of you.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of guys at work talking about that. They've got a semi-serious group of people at my work who were chatting today, and they were like owning like 5 or 6 gyms around like at once. They have entirely too much time. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. As far as I know, you have to go to that physical location, and then you have to stand there and fight Pokemon.
Yeah.
No. Like, I heard you like leave one of your Pokemon there, and they just kind of fight.
Yeah, but if you're gonna like take it over, like you have to fight.
Like you have to go to it to win it, and then you leave one to defend it.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, this group's like, I don't know, some kind of weird, twisted, technological West Side Story, you know.
Sharks and jets. Snapping. Walking down the street, just snapping, holding their phone out.
Yeah.
Charmander. I once met a Pokemon named Charmander. Sorry.
No singing. Absolutely no singing.
If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times with no singing on the podcast.
You're a Pokemon trainer. You're a Pokemon trainer for life.
Well, I guess that's as good a time as any. It's a pretty nice bow to put on it, unless you guys have anything else for this week.
Well, I will give a shout out to regarding these gym things. A buddy of mine named Adam apparently was on a field trip, or not a field trip, a vacation. That's what adults do. What
are those?
And when this like Pokemon thing like first like went up and like posted to Facebook that apparently the U.S. Capitol is a gym, so he was like one of the first like gym bosses or whatever it is or whatever they call them. So like he posted this thing of like, you've now captured the U.S. Capitol. It's like, wow, what? So Steve from Paducah, Kentucky was asleep on the job on that one.
Yeah. Olympus has fallen, so to speak.
Right. So
Speaking of Olympus.
This is a natural segue.
Next week on the podcast, we're going to talk about not just a random video game, but random sporting events, all from a conglomeration of world countries, except for Russia, because y'all are cheaters. But all the countries getting together down in Brazil and we're going to talk about the Olympics, which start on Friday, the 5th of August, with the opening ceremonies, or like 2 days beforehand if you're a soccer player or a basketball player, because we ain't got time to like cram all that in 2 weeks. Yeah, we're going to talk about how we don't know anything about the Olympics, which apparently does the city of Rio de Janeiro.
You led me on. I thought we were going to. We don't know anything about Zika. But anyway, that's a terrible joke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll spend, countless minutes. I was going to say hours. It won't be hours. We'll spend a long time focusing on the impeccable facilities, the readiness in general for the games to happen, and not the fact that Australia just won't even move into the Olympic Village.
Comfort kangaroos. That's all I got to say.
Wait, what? There's comfort.
You got to listen next week. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. So yes, let's listen. Okay, we didn't die the last time you pressed the live button, so I think we've learned that. But I still don't know anything about ending a podcast.
We know one thing. Sure. Comfort kangaroos. That's all you need.